G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we are looking at the power of the Prime's Blot, the third in our Terracons. Now, I will say that a lot of people really had to go at G1 Blot. He didn't do much in transformation, and no one could figure out what type of monster he was. The power of the Prime figure really stands out a lot more, and as far as I'm concerned, he is either a troll / ogre. So there we go. But I will say he does have some of the nicest colors. He reminds me slightly of actually Soundwave's colors, if you really think of it. He doesn't really have the purple, but the silver and the blue are very Soundwavy colors. Yeah. So he does look good. He can, of course, be arm or leg, which we'll get to in a moment. But, yeah, so he does look pretty good. He does have his gun, which he can store if you do not want him to carry it. You can just use this and flip it up and just plug that into there. And he can carry it like that. Each of them have pretty much weapon storage. I do like the fact that it looks like the gun's sticking over his shoulder a little bit. Although I must say that's probably going to be really awkward to actually aim. And yeah. Although I think it's his gun is the only one that doesn't have a round handle now that I'm looking at it. Just grab Center Twins. So there's Center Twins, your classic round port, and yeah, Watts doesn't have it. He holds it obviously perfectly fine, and you can't really hold it sideways. So if you're thinking, well, maybe that's the handle, you can't really hold it. So he's the only one who has, for some bizarre reason, a straight handle, which is very, very bizarre, and even that's a bit so to actually plug in. But let's get down to articulation and try to focus. So head can do a full 360. Can look up a little bit, although I think I'm using more the transformation joint. Can look down a little bit. Doesn't go side to side. Arms can do a full 360 if you move it out of the way of the backpack. Arm goes out this far. He has bicep rotation, and I think he's the only one. And I'm just quickly eyeing off Ripper Snapper. No, Ripper Snapper has it too. Center Twin doesn't have it, and Cutthroat doesn't have it, but you can actually see the ball joint in the elbow. So technically, he's got elbow twist. Gets you that far up. Hands don't rotate. The wrist doesn't rotate. It doesn't. Fingers don't move. But due to transformation, if you really want to, you can give him monster hands, which I think is pretty cool. Can't hold the gun to save his life, but is cool. Plus, like Ripper Snapper in the next episode, he does have a sort of a Wolverine-esque claws. No waist swivel because of the way that the backpack is designed. I think he's the only one who doesn't have it. Leg goes up that far. Leg goes back that far. Leg goes up that far, and I think it's actually the ball joint itself on top of the hip that's actually keeping it from going away. We have upper thigh rotation. We do also have a little bit of hip rotation. Knee bend that gets you that far. You have no ankle tilt and or toes, although it is angled. Thank you, truck going past. So there we go. Now, what are we up to? All right, so we won't do any size comparisons just yet. We will get into beast mode, and then we will get into configuration modes, and then we'll do the rest. So, to get Blot into his ogre mode, what we want to do is unpeg these two here. You have this. My brain wasn't working from that. So this is all going to accordion out, and you're going to basically bring it all up on this hinge over his head as far as you can get it. there is a hinge here too. So basically you bring it up here, and then you're basically giving him a mask. There we go. Push in a bit further. Bring this down, and I'm trying to figure out where the tabs are, but it will basically tab in. So just right there. You want to pull the arms out, both sides, which don't feel too comfortable to me. You're going to rotate his hands, so that gives us our monster hands. And you can angle them however you want for the time being. Now the legs are going to seem a bit weird because due to the transformation later, you're going to think this is all going to fold up. It doesn't. You actually have this, get the foot out of the way. You have this port here. This is going to tab in up here. So for starters, you're going to untab the foot and just get that out of the way. Same on the other side. And you're going to fold it at the knee. Actually, you can probably tab. They should be able to tab together. There we go. Try to keep his legs out of the way. Like so, you have these two ports. So you're going to double bend them, line them up the top, get that out of the way. And that's where his legs are going to sit. So he's basically folding up on himself. Then you can bring the monster legs down, fold out his feet, and angle them the best you can so that he can actually stand. And I just realized what I forgot to do, but we'll get back to it in a minute. So there we go. And if you want a proper looking Blot, you really do have to take his gun, and we'll plug it in this side. So that way he has his gun. Now as for Titan Master ports, you have one here, one here, one here, one there, I suppose. If you want to use the blast effects, it's nothing on his legs, nothing on his arms, not really anything in his face, just his shoulders. So there we go. There is Blot in his ogre / troll mode. And honestly, I don't think it really looks that bad. I think it really looks good. It's big, it's beefy, it's chunky. It does one thing that I don't think it's supposed to do, but I'll do it anyway. If you're very careful, you can slightly part his teeth. And I don't know if that's a proper thing because I went looking in the hinges and I really couldn't find it. And it does start sort of pushing things back. So just beware. I don't think it's supposed to do that. I think it's just the way that it's constructed. So yeah, just be wary of that. So there we go. As for articulation in his mode, head doesn't do anything, so that weird mouth move. The arms can do a full 360. Comes out this far. Elbow and all that's the same. Although you do get sort of weird things with the shoulders because they're pulled out. Legs can do a full 360 if things don't get in the way. You do have an outer leg that gets you this far. Nothing at the knee, knees solid piece. I'm splitting joints here. Feet can go forward that far and go back that far, but that's more transformation than pretty much anything else. So there we go. He does stand pretty well. It's just a matter of figuring how you want to stand. All right, so let's get this guy into his combined modes. So I'm going to take the gun away, and let's do. Well, we'll do leg mode because honestly, going from leg mode to arm mode has very little difference. So we're going to untab his legs, bring these down, and stretch them out. Now, who is it? I want to say Ripper Snapper does it because Cutthroats is slightly different, but you're basically going to fold these back, and you're going to, as they used to call it, combine wars the legs in and bring that all back up again. You're going to angle the feet up, and you have this port here, which was what I said you could use for a Titan Master port. And you have this here, and that's just going to plug on there. So I think I might actually fold. There we go, that's better. So we'll fold the feet back. Same on the other side. If you can't quite line up like this, just use that hip to open it up a little bit, like so. Then you're going to rotate the arms around, and you're going to push up the shoulders. If I can get the other one in place. I think that, there we go. And what we're going to do is you have this port here that's going to plug in the side. It's very much cutthroat. So right here, like so. We're going to bring all this back. Just snap all that back. You're going to rotate that around. You're going to bring basically these, I think it is, down onto here. It's very much like it's in robot mode, just accordion all that up that you have to. Get that onto there. Just get that out of the way. There we go. You can bring this up if you want to use it for like gun storage. Somehow, if you want to do it. So you can have it like that. I do prefer it in vehicle mode, but in arm mode. But you can just put that down there. And of course, we have our leg, and that just plugs in there. And of course, if you want, you can take his hand thing and plug that in the back there for added stability. And there is Blot in his leg mode. I assume you'd actually have it that way, so that way you could use your knee joint, I guess. Mine could be a little bit wonky because I actually have fiddled with the joint so that it would sit better with his upgrade arm, but it is what it is. So there we go. So there's the leg mode. All right, arm mode. Basically the same thing. We're bringing this up. We're not unplugging any of that. We're bringing these down, if I can get it. So we're basically untapping the legs. And that's really tight on that side. I don't know why. Bring all this down like you're transforming it for robot mode. Bring these up here. You want to get those legs back in place. Get in there. There we go. And we are right arm, aren't we? And that one's moved as well anyway. And where are you? There we go. Right arm. So, right arm. So we're going to twist. Oh, he does have a waist swivel. Of course he's got a waist swivel. Duh. Otherwise he wouldn't be able to do his arm. So he does have a waist swivel. It's below his actual waist. So it's actually more of his abs, which honestly is most of the others. I can't believe I did that. Anyway, so you may need to move the backpack a little bit just to clear the head. So at least that way you have access to the arm port. And of course, if I can get unplugged, you take your arm, plug that in there, and there is your arm. Due to the fact that the knees are this way, you only have this for your joint. But if you go this way, you can then, of course, use your knees. So it depends on you how exactly you want to have that articulation. Of course, for me, I like to take the gun, plug it in the side there, if I can line it up, and just sort of angle it, sort of thing. So there we go. So now let's get this guy back into robot mode, which we're basically halfway there. So swivel that, tab that, which is very secure. Come on. fold those down. Maybe they'll give me a bit more clearance. I think it's actually more of a... Oh, gotcha. I've had enough exercise for the day, thank you. Try to get that all lined back up again. Get that plugged back in. It's very difficult to see from the distance. There. Make sure that's lined up. Plug that back in there. We can untab the arms and rotate them around. We're not going to drop the shoulders because that's for animal mode. Bring that up. That gives us our head mode. Of course, fold those in to give us our hands. So yes, there is a waist swivel. It's right under here. Oops, sorry. I'm literally looking at my other figures. So the other figures, at least looking at Ripper Snap, Cutthroat, and Sinner Twin, theirs is up here, and that's why I was probably having trouble because I was trying to twist there. So yeah, it's more of a crutch rotation than a waist rotation. So there is that, I guess. So there we go. There is Blot back in his robot mode. Now, one other thing I forgot. His Titan Master Prime Armor. You can, of course, take out the top and plug that into his hand so he has another gun. But, of course, he does have the gimmick where you fold this down and you fold that down. And unlike Cutthroat, because he's the only one that really doesn't do it, you can just plug that in there and, of course, put that back because it looks stupid with a giant gap. Get in there. Now that I've taken it out, now I can't put it back in. Good God. Excuse me, Blot. Realized what I was doing wrong. I was trying to plug it up here instead of down here. So there we go. So there's his Prime Armor. Alright, so let's get down to size comparisons. We'll put his gun in his back of his hand just because why not? Here he is with MP10. So he's about up to his crutch. So about right. And of course, here he is with all the other Terracons we've done so far. Here he is with Sinner Twin Cutthroat. And there he is with Sinner Twin. So that's how they're looking so far. So there we go. So if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. And apart from that, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.